Have you ever found yourself wondering why some women stay on a man's mind so effortlessly, even when it seems like they're not trying at all? What is it about them that keeps him thinking about them, longing for their attention, and missing them so deeply it almost hurts? The truth is, it's not about being the most beautiful woman in the room or the loudest one at the table. It's about something deeper, something that feels almost magnetic. But here's where many women get it wrong. They unknowingly sabotage their chances of being unforgettable by clinging too tightly, chasing too hard, or trying to prove their worth. Maybe you've been there, sending too many texts, over-explaining yourself, or bending over backward to make someone care. But desperation never works. It pushes people away. Mystery, on the other hand, pulls them in. What if I told you there's a way to turn things around completely? A way to not only catch his attention, but keep him thinking about you even when you're not around? Now, picture this, becoming the woman who occupies his thoughts effortlessly, the woman he can't stop thinking about, the one he misses without even understanding why. Today, I'm going to share the ultimate secret to making him miss you in a way he never has before. Using powerful principles from Stoic psychology, you'll learn how to master your energy, hold on to your power, and build authentic, lasting connections. I'm breaking this down into 10 transformative steps that don't rely on playing games, but instead shift your mindset and transform how you connect. So, if you're ready to step into your power, let's start with the first secret, building a thriving, independent life that naturally draws him in. Step 1. Unlocking the power of your inner magnetism. Picture this. You're scrolling through social media and come across someone who seems to be living their best life. They're posting stunning photos of their adventures, sharing stories of their accomplishments, and radiating joy in every update. What's your immediate thought? You're intrigued. You want to know more. You feel drawn to them. Now imagine creating that exact effect in a man's mind. The truth is, men are naturally captivated by women who exude independence and vitality. Why? Because a thriving woman signals strength, confidence, and an exciting life, qualities that are irresistibly attractive. But here's the catch. Many women make the mistake of oversharing or appearing overly curated. To make a man truly miss you, your independence needs to feel authentic, not performative. He needs to sense that your happiness doesn't revolve around him, and that your life is full and vibrant with or without his presence. So, how do you achieve this in practical ways? First, be intentional about your social media presence. Think of your platforms as a curated window into your life, not a diary. Share photos that highlight your passions, achievements, and moments of genuine joy. Are you hiking with friends? Post a snapshot with a caption about your love for the outdoors. Did you just complete a challenging project at work? Share the growth and satisfaction it brought you. These updates aren't about bragging, they're about showing that you're thriving. But what if you don't have major milestones to share? That's okay. You don't need to climb mountains or win awards. Small moments of joy, like a peaceful walk, a creative hobby, or a favorite book, can also reflect a fulfilling life. Still, less is more. Overposting or sharing mundane or negative details can dilute the allure you're building. Remember, curiosity is key, not broadcasting every move. Next, focus on building a life that excites you offline. Social media is just a glimpse of the bigger picture. True magic happens when you're genuinely happy and fulfilled in your everyday life. Pursue hobbies that light you up. Set personal goals that challenge and inspire you. Spend time with people who energize and uplift you. When a man sees that your happiness doesn't depend on him, it creates a powerful dynamic. He starts to wonder, what's keeping her so busy? What's making her smile like that? This curiosity sparks longing, and that's exactly what we're aiming for. Here's a question. When was the last time you did something purely for yourself? Something that made you feel alive and powerful? If it's been a while, now is the time to start. Not for him, but for you. The more you invest in your own happiness, the more magnetic you become. Finally, embrace the principles of Stoic psychology. Emotional independence is key. A Stoic woman is grounded, calm, and unshakably confident. She doesn't seek validation because she knows her worth. When you embody this mindset, you project an aura of mystery and strength that men find irresistible. Picture this. He's scrolling through his phone late at night, seeing your posts, wondering what you're up to. He can't help but imagine you thriving, smiling, and enjoying your life. That image lingers, making him miss you more and more. This isn't about playing games. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and letting your light shine. And when you do, you'll find that men aren't just missing you, they're chasing you. Step 2. How to build a thriving life that naturally attracts him. Have you ever noticed how much more something stays on your mind when it's just out of reach? That book you haven't found time to read. The vacation you keep planning but never take. Even the outfit you picture but haven't bought yet. It lingers in your thoughts, doesn't it? The same idea applies to human connection. When someone isn't always available, they naturally occupy more space in your mind than someone who's constantly there. This is the power of creating space. Now let's be honest. Most of us have been told that the way to keep a man's attention is to stay in constant contact. Text him first thing in the morning, update him throughout the day, and respond to his messages right away. But what if I told you this approach often does more harm than good? Men are naturally curious. They're drawn to mystery and the thrill of pursuit. When you're always available, that sense of intrigue fades. He knows where you are, what you're doing, and exactly how you feel about him. And while it might feel like you're building a connection, what you're actually doing is removing the space he needs to miss you. So, how do you create that space without being distant or playing games? First, set boundaries with your communication. If you're always the one starting conversations or replying the second he texts, take a step back. Let him wonder why your responses aren't as immediate. Let him feel the difference when you stop sharing every little detail of your day. This isn't about ignoring him, it's about giving yourself room to breathe and giving him the chance to notice your absence. When your phone isn't buzzing constantly, he starts to wonder, what is she up to? Who is she with? His imagination fills in the blanks, and in those moments, he begins to miss you. Next, focus on cultivating patience and emotional control. Remember, this isn't about manipulation, it's about centering yourself. Men are naturally drawn to women who are grounded and self-sufficient, women who don't depend on them for attention or validation. Here's something to think about. How often do you text someone just because you're bored or need reassurance? What if instead you use that time to journal, meditate, or call a friend? When you prioritize your own well-being, you send a powerful message. I value myself and my time. Another way to create space is to be unpredictable. If he's used to you always being available, change things up. Maybe you don't reply to his text right away because you're genuinely busy enjoying your evening. Or perhaps you take a spontaneous weekend trip with friends and only mention it afterward. This unpredictability keeps him curious and intrigued. Imagine this. He's scrolling through his phone, waiting for your usual goodnight text, but it doesn't come. Instead, he sees a photo of you laughing with friends at a rooftop bar or hiking a scenic trail. Suddenly, he's wondering why you didn't mention your plans, and that curiosity draws him in. Now, you might be wondering, won't he lose interest if I pull back? Not if you do it intentionally. You're not disappearing or ghosting him, you're showing him that your world doesn't revolve around him. This is the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology, mastering the balance between presence and absence to amplify your allure. Here's the beauty of this approach. It's not just about making him miss you. It's about empowering yourself. When you create space, you give yourself time to focus on your passions, strengthen your relationships with others, and reconnect with who you are. And when he sees that you're living a full, vibrant life, he won't just miss you, he'll admire you. Now, before we move on to the next irresistible strategy, I want to hear from you. What's one way you can start creating space in your interactions? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to know how you're embracing this powerful mindset. If this insight resonated with you, hit the like button. It lets me know you're ready to dive deeper into these transformative strategies. Don't stop here. There's so much more to uncover, and I promise the best is yet to come. Step 3. How to be unavailable without pushing him away. Jealousy is a powerful emotion, isn't it? It's raw, undeniable, and often stirs feelings we didn't even know we had. When used subtly, it has the potential to ignite a man's desire and longing for you like nothing else. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation or deceit. This is about naturally showing him that you're a woman who is admired, valued, and absolutely worth missing. The truth is, men are competitive by nature. The thought of losing something or someone to someone else activates a primal instinct to fight for what they value. When a man sees that you have options or notices that others enjoying your company, it sends him a clear message. She's not waiting around for me. I need to step up before it's too late. So, how do you spark that subtle sense of jealousy without crossing any lines? The answer lies in authenticity and balance. Start by living a vibrant, fulfilling life. Spend time with friends, meet new people, and engage in activities that naturally bring you into the company of others. If you're at a party or event, snap a few group photos, especially if some include men. Share a moment or two on social media, not to brag, but to show that you're enjoying life and surrounded by great company. Here's the beauty of this approach. It's completely real. You're not pretending to be someone you're not, nor are you trying to provoke him. You're simply showing him that your world is full of meaningful connections and experiences that don't revolve around him. Now let's talk about subtle specifics. Imagine posting a casual group photo from a night out. Maybe one of the men in the picture is standing close to you, smiling warmly. To anyone else, it's just a fun snapshot. But to him, it might spark curiosity. Who's that guy? Is she interested in him? What's going on? That little hint of mystery can make him think twice about taking you for granted. But remember, subtlety is everything. Overdoing it, like posting overly intimate photos or flaunting other relationships, can come across as desperate or insincere. The goal is to create healthy intrigue, not to cause conflict or hurt feelings. There's another way to spark that interest without involving anyone else. Highlight your passions. Share moments from your life that show what excites you. Whether it's attending an art exhibition, planning a trip, or diving into a new hobby. This reveals a life full of exciting possibilities, making him wonder if he's missing out on being part of those moments. The beauty of this approach, rooted in Stoic psychology, is in its balance. It's about showcasing your worth without shouting it from the rooftops. When a man sees you thriving, connected, and independent, it can trigger the sting of potential loss. Jealousy doesn't always come from competition. Sometimes it comes from realizing just how much someone adds to your life. When he pictures you moving forward, growing and shining without him, it stirs the desire to stay close and be part of your journey. Step 4. How to trigger his desire without being obvious. Have you ever noticed that the most unforgettable connections in your life are never about the ordinary, everyday routines? Instead, it's the laughter, the inside jokes, the shared adventures, and the stories that stay with you. These moments aren't just memories, they're the bonds that tie us to each other. And they hold the secret to making a man truly miss you. Men are sensory beings. They don't just remember you, they remember how you made them feel. Those emotions linger and become triggers for longing. So, if you want to be unforgettable, it's not about being flashy or doing something outrageous. It's about creating moments that resonate deeply and emotionally. But how do you do that? It starts with paying attention. What sparks his excitement? Is he passionate about music, sports, or travel? Use those interests to create experiences that stand out. For example, if he loves live music, skip the usual dinner date. Instead, surprise him with tickets to a concert by his favorite band. This doesn't just show that you're thoughtful, it anchors a positive memory to you. Every time he thinks of that night, he'll think of you too. Humor is another powerful tool. Shared laughter has a way of bringing people closer. A playful nickname from an inside joke or a moment of uncontrollable laughter over something silly can leave an imprint he won't forget. Every time he hears that nickname or recalls that moment, he'll smile and he'll miss the happiness you bring. But here's the truth. It's not always about big dramatic gestures. Sometimes it's the smallest, most unassuming moments that leave the deepest mark. A quiet evening cooking together, discovering a new recipe, or a late-night walk where you share dreams and stories can create a sense of intimacy that lingers long after the moment is gone. Here's another way to leave a lasting impression. Connect yourself with something he already loves. If he's into a specific TV show or book series, find a way to weave yourself into it. Maybe you give him a nickname inspired by a favorite character or joke about plot twists. This creates a mental link between you and something he enjoys, making it impossible for him to engage with it without thinking of you. The goal is simple. Make your time together so fulfilling, so uniquely enjoyable, that the idea of losing it feels unbearable. You're not just another person in his life. You're the one who makes him feel seen, heard, and truly alive. And don't underestimate the power of scent. A signature perfume, something subtle but distinct, can be incredibly effective. When he smells that scent again, on someone else or in passing, it will instantly bring back memories of you, stirring emotions and longing. In the end, being memorable isn't about being larger than life. It's about creating a connection so genuine and meaningful that he feels your absence deeply. When you're intentional about building these moments, you'll find that even the simplest gestures can leave the most profound marks. And when those memories resurface in his mind, he won't just miss you, he'll long for you. Step 5. How to leave him thinking about you long after you're gone. Have you ever met someone who completely changed the way you see the world? Someone who introduced you to a new skill, passion, or perspective, leaving you feeling inspired, enlightened, or even challenged in ways you didn't expect? These are the people who stay with us long after they're gone. Now, what if I told you that you could be that person for someone else? If you want to make a man truly miss you, one of the most powerful things you can do is teach him something new. Men are naturally drawn to women who expand their horizons, showing them experiences they've never had before. But it's not just about what you share, it's about how you make him feel. When you inspire a man, you're not just part of his life, you become part of his growth. So, how does this work in practice? Start by tapping into your unique strengths and passions. Maybe you're an amazing cook and can teach him how to perfect a pasta dish. Or perhaps you're into fitness and can share a new workout routine. Maybe you have deep knowledge about a subject he's always been curious about, like art, history, or technology. Whatever it is, the key is to approach it with enthusiasm and confidence. For instance, if you're an avid reader of a genre he's never explored, don't just recommend a book. Share why it excites you. Read a passage that resonates or sparks a discussion. Suddenly, you're not just someone he spends time with, you're someone who opens his mind to new ideas. Here's where Stoic principles come into play. Stoicism emphasizes personal growth and the pursuit of wisdom. When you embody this mindset, you naturally inspire others to grow alongside you. Sharing knowledge or a skill becomes more than just teaching. It's an invitation for him to become a better version of himself. And guess what? He'll associate that growth with you. Teaching him something new also strengthens your emotional connection. Imagine showing him how to cook a dish from your favorite culture. You laugh over a spilled ingredient or celebrate nailing the perfect flavor. It's not just about cooking, it's about creating a shared experience. Later, every time he tastes or smells that dish, he'll think of you and the fun you had together. Now, you might be wondering, what if I don't have anything unique to share? The truth is, everyone has something special to offer. It doesn't need to be a life-changing lesson. Even small things, like teaching him how to fold a fitted sheet, showing him a phone shortcut, or introducing him to a favorite podcast, can make an impact. Here's the twist. Teaching him isn't about impressing him. It's about bonding with him. When you challenge him, but also support him, he'll remember how safe and inspired he felt around you. But don't stop there. Be open to learning from him too. Ask him to teach you something he's passionate about. This mutual exchange builds balance and deepens your connection. He'll appreciate your curiosity and feel valued for his knowledge, making the experience unforgettable for both of you. Here's a psychological hook. Every time he uses something you taught him, he'll think of you. Imagine you show him a small hack to make his mornings easier. Every time he uses it, he'll remember you with appreciation. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect. What's something only you can teach? What's a skill, lesson, or perspective you love that others might find interesting? Now it's your turn. Share one thing you could teach to leave a lasting impression. Drop your ideas in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're planning to create meaningful connections. If this sparked something in you, don't forget to like the video. It lets me know you're excited to dive deeper into strategies like these. Teaching and learning aren't just tools for relationships. They're keys to becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. Stay tuned for the next strategy. It's all about emotional control, and trust me, it's a game changer you won't want to miss. Step 6. How to use emotional control to elevate his connection. Have you ever felt the urge to react impulsively when emotions are running high? Maybe he didn't text back as quickly as you'd hoped, or he seemed distant for a moment. You catch yourself overthinking, overanalyzing, or even overreacting. It's a natural response. But when it comes to making a man miss you, emotional control is your greatest strength. Men are instinctively drawn to women who radiate emotional stability. When you stay calm and composed, you create a sense of peace and security, qualities that are incredibly attractive. Overreacting, on the other hand, can make you seem needy or dependent. And those are traits that push people away rather than pull them closer. The truth is, the key is to respond, not react. When you feel the pull of an emotional impulse, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this reaction necessary? Does it reflect the strong, centered person I am? By practicing restraint, you show him that you're not easily shaken and that your happiness doesn't depend on his every move. This is where Stoicism comes in. At its core, Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control what others do, we can control how we respond. What if he hasn't texted you in a day or two? Instead of flooding him with messages or spiraling into self-doubt, shift your focus to what's within your control. Use that time to dive into a personal project, connect with friends, or indulge in some self-care. So when he finally does reach out, your composed response will leave a lasting impression. Now, let's talk about the power of mystery. When you don't overreact, you maintain a sense of unpredictability. If he expects you to be upset or overly eager, but instead you respond calmly and with grace, he'll start wondering, what's she thinking? Why isn't she more affected? This subtle shift changes the dynamic. It puts the ball in your court and keeps him intrigued. For example, imagine he cancels plans suddenly. Instead of expressing frustration right away, you could say, "No problem. I hope everything's okay." That response shows understanding and emotional maturity, while leaving him to wonder if he's taken you for granted. The result? He's more likely to reflect on his actions and make amends, realizing just how rare and valuable your emotional strength is. But emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It's about mastering them. Acknowledge your emotions privately, process them, and then respond thoughtfully. This balance between vulnerability and control is a hallmark of Stoic psychology, and it's one of the most powerful ways to make a man miss you deeply. When you're emotionally grounded, you become a safe space for him. In a world filled with chaos and drama, your calm demeanor stands out. He begins to associate you with peace and stability, something he'll crave when you're not around. Emotional control isn't just a strategy for attraction, it's a gift you give yourself. It allows you to navigate relationships with grace, confidence, and a deep sense of self-respect. And that's a power that will never fade. Step 7. How to flip the script and make him chase you instead. Imagine this: you haven't reached out to him in a while. Suddenly, he posts a photo where he looks undeniably attractive, or he shares a cryptic status update that seems perfectly crafted to grab your attention. Coincidence? Probably not. Men, just like women, have their ways of seeking validation when they feel the absence of someone they care about. This is what I call attention bait. It's subtle, sometimes even unconscious, but it's designed to get a reaction from you. Here's where many women fall into the trap. They take the bait. They comment, they like, or they respond, giving him exactly what he wants without even realizing it. But what happens when you don't react? When you scroll past his post without engaging, something shifts. You flip the script. By ignoring his attempts to reel you in, you create a dynamic of intrigue and self-control that leaves him unsettled. He starts to wonder, why didn't she notice? Doesn't she care? What is she thinking? This lack of validation doesn't just spark his curiosity, it amplifies his longing. The strength to resist his attention bait comes from understanding one key principle of Stoic psychology. Your value isn't defined by his attempts to provoke you. When you engage, you give away a piece of your power. But when you remain composed, you hold onto it. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means knowing the difference between a genuine connection and attention-seeking tactics. A man who truly values you won't rely on bait to get your attention. He'll make an effort to connect authentically. Instead of reacting to his latest post, shift the focus back to yourself. Share something meaningful on your own profile, or spend time doing things that bring you joy. When he sees you living your life on your terms, it sends a powerful message. You're not waiting around for him, and he's not the center of your world. This doesn't just make you more attractive, it sets a standard. By not falling for attention bait, you show him that you value real effort and meaningful gestures. And when he realizes he can't win you over with surface-level tactics, he's far more likely to step up and pursue you in a genuine way. The beauty of this approach is how it strengthens your sense of self-worth. When you stop seeking validation from his posts or actions, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of chasing and reacting. Instead, you become the woman who inspires him to chase you, not because you're playing hard to get, but because you embody true emotional independence. In the end, resisting attention bait isn't just about making him miss you. It's about reclaiming your power. And when he finally recognizes the depth of your value, he'll realize what he once took for granted. Step 8. How to craft a first impression that lingers in his mind. Think back to the last time someone completely captivated you. Was it their charm, their energy, or maybe the way they made you feel like you were the only person in the room? First impressions are powerful. They stick with us, shaping how we think about someone long after that first encounter. If you want a man to miss you deeply, mastering the art of a memorable first impression is key. Here's the secret. A great first impression isn't about perfection, it's about connection. It's about making him feel something he can't quite put into words, but can't stop thinking about either. So, how do you create this kind of unforgettable moment? Start with confidence. Confidence is magnetic. But it doesn't mean being the loudest or the boldest person in the room. It's about owning who you are, embracing what makes you unique, and letting that shine. When you walk into a room, shoulders back, head high, and eyes bright with self-assurance, you've already won half the battle. But confidence alone isn't enough. You need to create a moment that sticks. One way to do this is by being genuinely curious about him. Ask thoughtful questions, listen intently, and respond with warmth and humor. For example, instead of the usual, "What do you do for work?" try, "What's a project you've worked on recently that you're really proud of?" This not only shows you're interested in who he really is, but also sets you apart from everyone else. Here's another pro tip. Leave him wanting more. When the conversation is flowing and you're both enjoying each other's company, don't linger. Excuse yourself with a graceful smile that says, "There's so much more to me than you've seen tonight." This creates intrigue. And that intrigue? It leaves him wanting the next encounter even more. Body language also speaks a lot. A light touch on his arm when you laugh or holding steady eye contact as he speaks communicates intimacy without a single word. These small subconscious moments stick with him and play over in his mind long after you've said goodbye. But what if you've already met him and the first impression didn't go as planned? Don't worry, there's always room for a reset. The next time you see him, focus on being fully present and authentic. A heartfelt compliment or a playful reference to your first meeting can turn it all around. Now let's add a twist. What if you associate yourself with something unexpected? It could be a signature fragrance that becomes yours alone, so every time he smells it, he thinks of you. Or maybe you give him a light-hearted nickname that no one else uses. These small, unique touches make you unforgettable in ways he'll never see coming. Here's where Stoic psychology works its magic. A memorable first impression isn't about overwhelming someone or trying too hard. It's about mastering your energy. Stay calm, stay collected, and focus on what you can control, your presence, your demeanor, and how you make him feel. When you approach interactions with this mindset, you radiate a quiet, unshakable confidence. And that kind of energy, it draws people to you naturally. So now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you think makes someone truly unforgettable? Is it their humor, their kindness, or the way they make you feel seen and heard? Share your thoughts. Your insight might inspire someone else to create their own unforgettable moments. And if this idea resonates with you, hit that like button. If you've ever made a first impression so powerful that someone couldn't stop thinking about you, share your story below. Let's build a space where we can all learn, grow, and step into the most magnetic versions of ourselves. Stay tuned, because next, we're talking about how to use social media strategically to make him miss you even more. Step 9. How to use social media to effortlessly catch his attention. In today's world, social media has become one of the most powerful tools for shaping perception, whether we like it or not. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok give people a glimpse into our lives. But when used wisely, they don't just show, they amplify. They can highlight your vibrancy, your confidence, and most importantly, leave someone longing for more. But here's the truth. Social media should never be about oversharing or chasing validation. Instead, think of it as a stage, a subtle one, where you can showcase a thriving, meaningful life that feels authentic and leaves just enough unsaid to make someone curious. Start by focusing on quality over quantity. There's no need to flood your feed with updates about every little detail of your day. Instead, share moments that matter, a snapshot from a spontaneous hike, a beautiful meal you cooked, or a thought-provoking quote that reflects your mindset. These posts shouldn't feel performative. They should feel effortless and real. And here's where mystery comes into play. Don't lay out your whole life for everyone to see. Let there be gaps. Moments when he's left wondering, what is she up to? Who is she with? Those gaps allow his imagination to take over, often in ways that make you even more intriguing. Social moments are key, too. A photo of you surrounded by friends, laughing and enjoying life, is powerful. It says you're connected, loved, and happy. And if there's a subtle presence of other men in the picture, it might stir a touch of healthy jealousy. Not because you're trying to provoke him, but because it reminds him that you are, in fact, desirable. But be careful. The goal is to create a presence that feels light, positive, and engaging, not overwhelming or draining. Posting too much or sharing overly personal or negative updates can work against you. So instead of noise, create impact. Use captions wisely. A thoughtful caption can transform a simple post into something deeper. For example, don't just write, "Beautiful evening." Try, "Moments like these remind me how much beauty there is in stillness." It offers a glimpse into your inner world. It makes you appear reflective, grounded, and self-assured, qualities that men find deeply attractive. But what if he's not active on social media? That's okay. This strategy isn't about chasing his attention. It's about creating a presence he'll remember when he does check in. Even if he only sees one post, it should make him stop and think. And should you interact with him directly? Tread carefully. A like or two can show subtle interest, but avoid excessive engagement. Let your profile do the talking. A well-crafted post or story can say far more than a dozen comments ever could. In the end, using social media wisely is about showcasing the best version of yourself, not to impress him, but to reflect the life you're genuinely living. When he sees you thriving, connecting with people, and embracing your passions, he'll start to realize what he's missing. And that realization, it's powerful. It can make him crave being part of your world again. So, approach social media with intention. Every post becomes an extension of your confidence, your self-assurance, and your value. Leave him captivated. wondering if he'll ever find his way back into your life. Step 10. How to employ gratitude and balance to make you unforgettable. There's something incredibly magnetic about a woman who lives with purpose and balance. She doesn't chase, she doesn't cling, and she doesn't crumble in the face of rejection or uncertainty. Instead, she carries herself with strength, calm, and self-assurance, qualities that naturally draw people in without any effort on her part. This is the essence of living by Stoic principles, and it's one of the most powerful ways to make a man miss you deeply. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. In relationships, this means redirecting your energy away from trying to force his attention and instead channeling it into becoming the best version of yourself. When you embrace this mindset, you exude a quiet confidence that makes you unforgettable. Start by cultivating inner peace and self-reliance. One of the most attractive traits in a woman is her ability to find happiness within herself. Men are naturally drawn to women who are grounded, content, and emotionally resilient, women who don't rely on external validation to feel whole. When he realizes your happiness doesn't depend on his presence, it sends a powerful message. You choose to be with him, but you don't need to be. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending to be indifferent. In fact, vulnerability is a key part of connection. The difference is in how you express it, with grace and control rather than letting emotions take over. For instance, if he does something that bothers you, approach the situation thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. This level-headedness not only earns his respect, but also sets you apart from others who might fall into patterns of emotional turbulence. Balance is another cornerstone of this approach. Don't let your world revolve around him, no matter how much you care. Continue pursuing your passions, building your career, and nurturing your friendships. By creating a fulfilling life for yourself, you become someone he naturally wants to be around. Imagine this in practice. You've been spending time with him, and suddenly he pulls back or grows distant. Instead of panicking or chasing after him, you step back too, not out of anger, but with calm self-respect. You use this time to focus on yourself, whether that's working out, tackling a creative project, or spending time with loved ones. This quiet detachment speaks volumes. It shows him that while you care, you're not dependent on his attention. And when he sees that you're perfectly fine on your own, it creates a longing in him to reconnect. Stoicism also emphasizes gratitude. When you practice gratitude for the present moment, you stop fixating on what's missing or what you wish would happen. This perspective not only makes you more content, but also more attractive. A grateful heart radiates positivity, and people are drawn to that energy. When he's around you, he'll feel that warmth. And when you're gone, he'll miss how you made him feel. One of the most profound lessons of Stoicism is the concept of impermanence, the idea that nothing lasts forever. When you embrace this, you stop holding on so tightly to things you can't control. Instead, you learn to appreciate the beauty of each moment without clinging to it. This mindset allows you to approach relationships with freedom and ease, which makes you even more captivating. The truth is, living by Stoic principles isn't just about making him miss you. It's about becoming the woman you've always wanted to be, strong, self-assured, and deeply fulfilled. A woman who doesn't chase but attracts. A woman who doesn't need anyone's approval to feel whole. And when you live this way, something amazing happens. You don't just make him miss you, you make him realize you're a once-in-a-lifetime kind of person. The kind of person who's impossible to forget. You've just discovered the ultimate secrets to making any man miss you deeply, even if he seems uninterested right now. From showcasing a thriving life to mastering emotional control, these strategies go beyond just capturing his attention. They're about transforming your mindset, reclaiming your power, and becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. Now it's your turn. Which of these strategies spoke to you the most? Can you see yourself creating space, sparking intrigue, or mastering the art of Stoicism? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey and what you're excited to try next. If you found this guide valuable, Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more transformative insights. And don't forget to share it with someone who could use a little inspiration to step into their power. The truth is, making someone miss you isn't about playing games. It's about embracing your authentic self and letting your light shine. Until next time, stay confident, stay powerful, and keep thriving.